where are you with them in the power rankings now that you know that they couldn't run the ball against Cleveland, although different front, and they couldn't run the ball or stop the run against the Saints? Have you knocked them down a peg or two in your NFC power rankings?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's not as simple as, well, the Saints beat them, they must be better, they must be higher if you're power ranking. I still want to see a little bit more from the Saints, but yeah, I think you have to knock Dallas down a little bit because those were it's just the weird analysis of what a front runner is, right? How do you look at Dallas and say, this is the year they're going to beat the best teams? This is the year they're going to beat the Niners. This is the year they'll beat Philly in Philly. This is the year they're going to make a playoff run against the best teams in the NFL. I don't know that there's anything this year versus the last couple of years. It did feel like the offseason was a lateral move at best, where most teams come in with more optimism, and Dallas is like, hey, we got to put two rookies onto the offensive line. We've got, a lesser receiver situation than we have over the last couple of years. We haven't really shored that up. So, yeah, I mean, I think you have to knock them down a peg. It just puts more pressure on your boy Dak, more pressure on him to perform week after week. And he'll have those games, man. Like, they'll win. They might win a game against a good team or two if he balls out. But it does feel like the margin for error is a lot smaller than it was even just in recent years.
I thought he played well for a while. And you're right, that first pick was not his fault. I just didn't think they had the football. I mean, the Saints were just chewing up the clock and, like you said, playing bully ball and doing what they wanted. All right, let's talk about the Bengals. Steve Palazzolo, his new show is Check the Mic. It's on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. NFL Podcast of the Year last year. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. I think the Bengals are still a damn good football team. They host the Commanders. They're 7.5-point favorites this weekend. Do you think the Bengals are still a good football team?
Yeah, I think they are. I'll be going to the game Monday
nice.
night with the Commanders coming in. Yeah, I can't go to Sunday games, so only those primetime games can we at least get to the stadium. So yeah, I mean it's a heartbreaker for Cincinnati. They start slow during the season, but I'll tell you this: Zach Taylor makes adjustments. Since he's taken over as head coach for the Bengals, whether it was, hey, we're running too much out of shotgun, let's go back under center, or we're not getting the ball to Jamar Chase, let's move him around. Every time, and that's what makes it difficult with analysis, we like to immediately respond to what we see and say, oh, that's how it's going to be because I just saw it. But then good coaches adjust. And so we saw that last week. We saw the tight ends get involved a lot more. They did throw the ball down the field more after week one was just painful to watch. Joe Burrow barely throwing the ball beyond 10 yards, and when he did, it wasn't effective. So I think the Bengals have all those ingredients. Joe Burrow, I think, is still very, very good. When he's healthy, he can make those downfield throws. I mean, he's dropping his eyes a little bit too much right now for my liking, but he's got all the pieces to get back on track. And when he's good, they're rolling. They've got some issues up front as far as their depth goes, but they played hard. I mean, they've only given up 275 passing yards through 2 weeks.
Wow.
They're 0-2. And they faced the Chiefs in one of those games. So I think they have that tough pass defense. They shore things up front a little bit more against the run. I think they have the ability to be a really good team. It's so odd that they continue to start the season 0-2, that they feel so unprepared for week one relative to their previous baseline. I don't know what that piece is, but I do know Zach Taylor has always gotten them back on track and made them look like one of the best teams in the NFL, at least at some point during the season. So I expect that from Cincinnati.
That's a good point. He's a hell of a coach, but they don't get out of the gate the right way. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Steve, can't figure that one out. And yet I feel like they'll be playing in January. How long, I don't know, but I feel like they will be. All right. Steve Palazzolo, Check the Mic. That's his new show. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We'll be live from Pearl River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and Lounge tomorrow. Steve, Kyler Murray was a highlight reel last week, but the lines are going to the Cardinals. Funky loss on Detroit. I actually think the Lions win this weekend. Who do you like and why?
Well, yeah, I don't love the Cardinals overall. Like, I don't love their defense. But I did this last year. They kept surprising me. I mean, I like them a lot more if Kyler plays the way he did Sunday. That was unbelievable. I mean, that was one of the better play-for-play quarterback performances that you'll see. Unbelievable pinpoint throws down the field. He did it inside the pocket, outside the pocket. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. going. Trey McBride is a monster at tight end. So I love a lot of the pieces that the Cardinals have. I like their offense better than their defense, but I think Detroit should be able to dominate up front. Detroit's offensive line has been leakier than I expected this year so far in pass protection. Jared Goff has been careless with the football relative to his baseline. They should get better on the offensive side of the ball, and they should have the advantage against Arizona. But I give Jonathan Gannon a ton of credit for the way he has them playing. He had them playing tough when they were massive underdogs all last season, and now they're not massive underdogs. They're much better than they were. I just worry about their ability, Arizona, to rush the passer consistently, to stop the run consistently. So I'm with you. I mean, I think Detroit, it was a tough loss against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay played hard, but the Lions are still, they have all the pieces, again, on both sides of the ball. Aiden Hutchinson's been unblockable. So I think the Lions come back and make a statement this week against Arizona.